Story 1, probably and definitely if I was in a committed relationship. I'd still want to use condoms for random flings or hookups for the sexually transmitted disease protection. Story 2. Same concerns that every woman has when taking them, but yes, 1000%. Honestly, if there was something I could do to take the physical strain off of my wife, I would. Go every other month with periods, handle the second trimester before passing the baby back for her to handle the third. These are some conversations my wife and I have had. Story 3. I would probably be the first person to overdose on it. I love the idea of being able to influence whether I have kids. I plan on getting a vasectomy as soon as possible, but my insurance is awful right now and it would cost nearly $3,000, which I do not have. Story 4. All drugs come with side effects, which would be my main concern. If the side effects weren't too bad and I was sexually active, then sure, I would take the pill. Story 5. I had a vasectomy after 2 kids. But if I were a young lad, yes, it is not just the responsibility of women to prevent unwanted pregnancies. Concerns, reversibility, long-term effects, blood pressure, blood clots, hormonal imbalance, sex drive, the lot really. The same concerns women should have. Story 6. Depends on the side effects. If it makes me overly aggressive and I'm violently assaulting people because my hormones are forcing me into this mindset, I'd probably pass on the offer. If I'm just a little sad or it lowers my libido or just causes something minor, absolutely yes. I'd take it on the spot with some sugar and water. Story 7. Same concerns I have with women taking birth control, probably namely that it's a little odd to me that messing with your hormones is so common. Just to clarify, I know there are legitimate reasons to use it, and that it can help with things other than birth control. Never said those things aren't valid. I'm just saying it is weird to me that it is so common to take something that messes with your hormones, especially when you are still developing. Story 8. I was seriously hoping for male birth control pills by the time my son reached puberty. He's 15 and no pills yet, so the window is pretty much closed now. I so wish that there was a pill he could take once a day that would make absolutely sure he couldn't impregnate someone. Story 9. I've been on testosterone replacement therapy for years, so I essentially was taking a male birth control pill. I've since gotten a vasectomy. So yeah, I would have taken a birth control pill, no issues. I'd rather have the reproductive control than leave it up to someone else. Story 10. I would take it even if the side effects were noticeable, although I would much prefer some sort of non-hormonal male birth control like a valve or gel. This would also just be so cool to be able to switch yourself from releasing sperm to no sperm at the flip of a switch. Story 11. If the side effects were minor, yes. The question is, would a partner trust me enough to be perfectly meticulous about taking the pill so that it was 100% effective, given that she would bear the consequences of my failure? Would you? Story 12. Yes, I hate the feeling of having to ask my female partners if they are on birth control and such. And I hate that I can only use a condom. I really hope for something like birth control for men. So far, no concern. If it kills me, best believe I died having some good sex. Story 13. I would do it, but I would be concerned that despite being able to prove I could not be the father, a court would find me financially responsible for a child that is not mine. Story 14. Yes, I wish they would just come out with it already. I don't see why it's been delayed, other than they don't think they would make much money from it because of how stupid men can be. Story 15. For sure, my concerns would be the long-lasting effects on fertility and general performance while taking the pill. I know guys constantly produce sperm throughout their lives, unlike women who have a limited number of eggs, so I wouldn't be very concerned about it. I don't want to be on a birth control pill and then have to take medication like Viagra on top of it just to function. Story 16. Yup. I've been sending money to the Male Contraceptive Initiative for years. I'm personally hoping for Vasalgel to make it to market. Story 17. I would take it as soon as possible. Daddy is done making babies but not into the snip. I would be worried about the same side effects as any hormonal medication for women. Higher risk of blood clots, stroke, testicular cancer, lower libido, but it would still be worth it. Story 18. Absolutely. My girl won't take anything for health concerns. Her family has a history with reproductive issues, and we both are not good at remembering to buy and use condoms. My luck so far is astounding. Story 19. If you, as a person able to create sperm, decide that you do not want children, the safest option for you and the person you love at this time is to get a vasectomy. I bet if vasectomy rates go through the roof, they would reverse their decision on abortions. However, take care of yourself and the person with whom your sperm could create a child and get a vasectomy. That way, a person you love will not be denied the care you both deserve. Story 20. Isn't there a really cheap injection gel that electrically makes sperm ineffective? But it's not sold because it's extremely cheap to make, easy to implement, and also easily reversed with a saline solution application. Story 21. This exists, though not as a pill. Reversible inhibition of sperm under guidance is a gel injected into the vas deferens, the tube through which semen passes during ejaculation. Sperm cell tails are damaged on contact, preventing them from swimming to or penetrating the egg. Clinical trials demonstrate 10 years of effectiveness per dose, and it is reversible with a saline injection to clear the vas deferens. If this sounds too good to be true, you're right. The long effectiveness of reversible inhibition of sperm under guidance has the potential to significantly impact the contraceptives market. Daily pills are far more profitable. Pharmaceutical interests may delay this technology as long as there is money to be made elsewhere. Still, fingers crossed. Story 22. Even if there are side effects, they are probably not as bad as an 18-year side effect. I would especially want it if I were casually dating because I am worried they may want to keep a pregnancy or lie about whether they are on birth control. I like to give others the benefit of the doubt, but I trust myself more. Story 23. No, because whatever it is, it's probably hormonal and I don't need that in my body. I do not want to mess up my hormonal balance. I'll stick to condoms. Story 24. The side effects of the female pill are already significant and under-discussed. I understand all the jokes about it, but bluntly, it's easier to keep one big cell from doing something than to stop millions of little ones. Any chemical intervention to stop that would have to be drastic. No, thank you. I suspect they will make one and rapidly discover side effects. Story 25. Depends on the side effect and how it works. Does it immobilize the sperm cells, prevent production, or prevent libido, etc.? Concerns are, as always, if no medication is needed to be healthy, then it is always better not to take any. But as concern rises, the thought of getting a vasectomy does also, so the endgame is kind of clear. Story 26. When I was single, I would have. I hated the choice of trusting someone else unless it was a girlfriend I trusted already, with that responsibility, or lessening the experience with condoms. Now that I'm married, I'm not too concerned. Story 27. I have been willing to even be one of the testing guinea pigs for it since 1982, which was the first time that I heard about a lab testing them at one of the universities here in Canada. Sadly, they still have not come about. Story 28. I am the one taking care of contraception in my couple, since my girlfriend doesn't want to have hormones in her body, and I respect that. So I use a condom and pull out. I have had one pregnancy scare with an ex-girlfriend, and I never want that to happen again. So yes, I'd try it and see what it does and if it's worth it. I'd be concerned about severe side effects like not being able to have an erection, not getting any pleasure in sex, or complete disinterest. I know other types of contraception exist, but using a condom and pulling out is what works best. Story 29. No, vasectomy is fairly cheap and covered by most insurance plans. It is easily reversible if you change your mind about procreating later, and it is more effective than any pill will ever be. Story 30. Depends on the side effects, to be honest. But likely, yes. If it had the same side effects as women's birth control pills, then I would at least not have to worry about weight gain, as my metabolism makes that basically impossible. Though I would stop taking them if the headaches lasted. I already have problems with headaches. I don't need more. Story 31. Yes, because then I know it was taken. I know it's not all women or even a lot of women, but I have met at least one woman who lied to her boyfriend about being on the pill when she wasn't, just to force a relationship to continue. Story 32. If it made a difference at my age and situation, sure. I would not have a problem with it. Standard concerns would apply as if taking any other medications. Story 33. Me personally, no, because I have a vasectomy. Aside from that, I have the same requirements I have for anything. What does the science say? Safe, effective, minimal side effects, for example, temporary, such as pain or weight gain. Sign me up. Story 34. I got the vasectomy, but I would have taken a male birth control pill if it existed. I wouldn't now because there is no point, but I would have gladly taken it if the option had existed. Story 35. With the new law just passed in Texas, I'd absolutely do it to protect my wife from this heinous nonsense they just did. I would have done it sooner too, but definitely now. Why, do you have one? Story 36. No, I wouldn't if it had the same side effects as the regular pill for women. At the same time, I'm never expecting my girlfriend to take it. It's very unhealthy for a little more pleasure. Story 37. I got a vasectomy after having kids, but back when my wife and I were dating, hell yes I would have. Her birth control pills messed with her emotions so badly. If the male version were more easily tolerated, I would have gladly taken it so she could quit them. Even if it was the same case for me, maybe I would have done it anyway or traded months or something. Story 38. No, I'm not a fan of birth control for women either. To each their own, but anything that messes with the body's natural processes really can't be good for you. I've heard too many stories from women about how birth control messes up their bodies, makes them feel bad, or just disrupts their menstrual cycles in weird ways. Bottom line, use protection. Quit complaining about it not feeling as good and have some responsibility and respect for the other person. Yes, I know it's your choice. This is just my opinion. Too many guys are all about women taking body-altering drugs so they can avoid worrying about kids. Yes, it's all cool for her to take the risks with none for you. Also, I understand condoms aren't 100% effective, but hey, risk assessment and safety first. Good luck. Story 39. Probably not. Vasectomies have been proven for years to be reversible, really safe with no side effects, and work 100%. It is by far safer than the birth control pill that women take. Story 40. Married with 2 kids. No more desired. I would totally take a male birth control. In fact, the wife is due to take out her intrauterine device any day now, and I will let them snip me without a problem. I see it as my turn to use some sort of prevention and have no worries about it. I question the manliness of the men who worry or avoid birth control. Small-minded energy. Story 41. If it were solely my choice, probably not, given the fact that condoms exist and I have self-control. My main concerns would pretty much be the same side effects of female birth control pills, hormonal imbalances, nausea, and stuff like that. In reality, though, my fiancée would have a say in this. It's not solely my choice. If she wanted me to take birth control to make her feel more comfortable, I probably would. Story 42. I would not want to take a pill simply because I am terrible at remembering, but I would be completely behind an injectable birth control. I remember reading a few years back about a gel that lasts 10 years and gets injected into your vas deferens. That is the most appealing form for me because I would not have to worry about hormonal abnormalities. Story 43. I don't know about hormonal options, but there is a non-hormonal male version of what essentially is an intrauterine device that blocks the path and is reversible. I would definitely consider getting that if it were to be available. Contraline and Vasalgel are 2 versions of this male birth control in development, so it's still pretty far away from when it would actually be available. However, it's been in India for a long time and has shown to be incredibly effective with next to no side effects. Story 44. Would absolutely take birth control. Don't need it anymore though because I went and got snipped after our second kid. Getting snipped as a male is vastly safer and less invasive than the tubal ligation a female has to go through. Story 45. Given the punitive nature of the situation for men when unwanted pregnancies occur and children are born without consent, all men should be hoping for a birth control pill. Story 46. I wouldn't personally. I also wouldn't want a girlfriend or wife or fiancé to take birth control because I know the effects are awful. I'd rather wear a condom and be done with it. No one is taking any hormone-altering pills. I'm not allergic to latex. Story 47. They are on trial now, actually. I have talked about it with a pharmaceutical chemist, and she explained that they have a series of side effects that may range from itching and headaches to full-on hormonal suppression. This is not a risk I would be willing to take for my girlfriend, And I don't expect her to take contraceptive pills either for the same reason. Contraceptive pills for women have been linked to breast cancer and infertility in women, and I would much rather wear a condom than put my girl through such risks. Story 48. Same concerns I have with female birth control, side effects. I have had this conversation with my girlfriend, and taking anything that might affect your mental state is a bit scary. That's why we still just use condoms at the moment. I would have to do a pro and con decision based on those side effects. Story 49. I got snipped in 2015. Kid-free. No worries with the wife. Found out at Christmas I have a 20-year-old from a previous relationship. Life finds a way, it seems. Story 50. If it's proven to be less harmful than the female pill, side effects, etc. Then, of course, anyone who says otherwise when their girlfriend has been using the pill and now it's the guy's turn is inconsiderate. Story 51. I actually do keep an eye on how such things are going. I seriously hope they hurry up and get something out there, as long as the side effects aren't too severe.